Hello, 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 and welcome to Travel, Leisure, and More. And I'm your host, Miss Lo B, and I'm inviting you to take this journey with me through the world of travel, leisure, lifestyle, and more, where we're going to talk about all there is to explore and experience in the world out there for us. And I'm coming to you live with WSCL Fusion Radio. Hello, everyone, and welcome again to Travel, Leisure, and More. My name is Lo B, and I am so honored to be here and talk to you guys today. Every day is a brand new day to start something new and reach another goal. And I have lots of goals, and I love the fact that my team that I work with, we challenge each other on a daily basis, and we ask questions that normally you don't ask yourself. And that's a great thing. And I'm going to get into that in a short bit, because I want you guys to kind of come up with some answers for yourself to the same questions, that I'm going to pose later on in the show. And I hope all is well with all of you. And I hope today brings a prosperous day to you, and happy and full of love. And for all of you who feel as though, you kind of down on yourself today, understand this. You are blessed every day that you wake up. You are blessed every second that you inhale and exhale oxygen. And you are blessed every day that you realize that you are here among all of us who love you. We may not say it, but we do. And as long as you have love in your heart for another person, you should also have love in your heart for yourself, because the person that you love more than likely has love for you. And if not, that will be someone else that you might not even notice that loves you too. So I just had to break off with that, because it just came in my spirit, so I got to speak it out. Today is an interesting day for me, because it pretty much started about a month and a half ago with my daughter, which is taking me on a whole new path. Let's just say a path that I remember distinctively, because I was on that path when I was her age, just a little bit different. My daughter is a beautiful woman, young woman, getting ready to turn 18 in a few months. And as much as I'm excited about that, I'm also nervous about that, because she won't be my little baby anymore. She will be my young lady, which she already is. But you know how mothers and fathers, you all know how that works. When you look at your child, they'll never be anything more than your baby. So I digress. Well, anyway, all her life, she's always wanted to be in front of the camera. I mean, I remember her being in Pampers, not even able to really speak. When you pull out a camera, she was striking a pose. So I knew it was kind of in her, but I didn't want her to rush into anything, because I was in show business as a child. I was a model, and I was an actress, and I was a singer, and all that whole gambit. I just stretched myself all the way across the board with it. And it was kind of rough, because I was young in the industry. And unlike many people, I was young in the industry with no parental guidance, let's just say. I had a manager. I had a whole team that was with me through my teenage years, but they were not my parents. My parents were, kind of like, okay, if this is something you want to do, I want you to do it on your own. So that's what I did. I did I did reach a lot of my goals. I really did. But at the same time, I had a lot of struggles to go through because I was so young in that industry. And anybody that's been anywhere near that industry knows it can be a beast. But my daughter grew into this beautiful young lady, and she just, I taught her how to do things, in an everyday fashion, as far as business wise. If you want to ask me to do something, you want to go to a party, I need all the pieces in place before you even present it to me. I need you to present it to me as if you were in a boardroom presenting a new idea for a new product or a new action to take for a business. That's how I raised her. And she's been very good at picking it up and learning it and mastering it. So she came to me and said, she took a trip to New York. She went she had, backstage passes to the Hamilton play and Phantom of the Opera and all of that. And, it really sunk into her for being on that stage. She was like, this is what I want to do. And I said, okay, if that's what you want to do, let's do it. Because now you're 17 and we can work that out. So she put her name out there a little bit, put a couple pictures out and whatever, and she started doing some research. And she found a company who helps expose talent. And she asked, could she do it? I said, sure, let's go see what's going on. It's a casting call. Let's go see. She was chosen, which was not a surprise to me because every time I took her somewhere to just kind of put a feeler out to see if she was marketable as a child, she was always first pick. So I was good with that. And she went in and she did her acting classes and her modeling classes because she has been doing runway model since she was in middle school. So she was good with that. And then she made it through and was chosen. And now we're on a whole new path with her. Yes, she is going to college. Yes, she is still, one of the super scholars and nerds and all of that greatness. But she also is showing that she worked from both left and right side of her brain, which is awesome to me. And it's a natural God-given talent for her. And I just say this to really stress, if your child has an idea and is passionate about it, it might be a good idea to kind of explore the situation because you never know where your child is destined to be. They might not be that regular, Joe that gets up every day and hits a regular clock and waits for his vacation time to come. They may be that next entrepreneur. They may be that next president. Thank God, please somebody put a better president in the office. But I digress off of that. I'm not even talking about that. But, and I'm very excited about her. And I just wanted to share that with you because, when you're a business person, you want to surround yourself with more business people, but you also want to train your children and those around you to think on a business level because, like I said, you never know where it's going to take you, and I'm just so excited about it. And again, I just wanted to share, but we're going to get on to the day and talking about some travel and leisure. Did you ever realize or think about how taxing a trip could be on you mentally and emotionally as well as physically? Well, you all know that there's a saying, when you come from a vacation, you need a vacation for your vacation because you're so tired and drained from everything that you were doing because, you kind of took a year's worth of activities and scrunched them all into probably a couple of days, maybe a week or 2 weeks or something like that. So, you're kind of tired when you get back. But also, one of the things that comes into fruition as far as traveling and being on vacation and doing things like that is you don't eat normally the way that you do when you're at home. A lot of us will cook on a regular basis and have a nice home cooked meal. Well, when you're traveling, you really don't have that option because you're traveling. You're not at home, but when you are traveling, even when you're at home, making sure that your body is balanced is very important because when you are traveling, I don't know if you guys have heard of thrombosis or, things like that happen when you're on a long plane ride. You got to move, you got to get up, and you got to circulate, because there are certain things working against your body, and your body is fighting to sustain itself, where, you have the cabin pressure. You're up all those miles in the air with the pressure on your body. You don't feel it per se, but your body does. It's trying to adjust to the difference in what the atmosphere is presenting itself as. And then you're sitting in one spot for 2 or more hours on average on a flight. And if you're going overseas, that's easily 8, 12, 14, sometimes hours, because you're traveling all the way around from one continent to another. So you have those things playing a part, and then add on to it if, and I say that again, if you don't have an active lifestyle where you're getting daily movement. It doesn't have to be going to the gym, and it doesn't have to be running 5-mile races and things like that, but just being active, being up, moving around. And a lot of people have desk jobs where you're not moving around. So, in the instance like that, it is very easy for a person to develop vein issues, where, sometimes you'll have people that suddenly have a blockage of an artery, or a heart attack, or an aneurysm, and things like that. I don't want to bring the morbid side to the situation, but I'm just giving examples. If you're not in the best condition with the event that is happening as far as the travel, you can come home and not be the best that you can be. You might be a little, you might have some issues, So one thing I will say to you is, when it comes to travel, even if it's a car ride, long car rides are the worst, because your back hurts, your legs hurt, everything hurts, because you're crunched up in the same position for hours at a time. Again, so I would always suggest, maybe in the evening or at lunch, if you get up and just take a little walk for maybe 20 minutes, a 20-minute walk will change a lot of things in your world. Doesn't have to be brisk. You don't have to break a sweat. Just get up and move around, so that the circulation is, coming into play with your body, and your body's not just laying, just dormant, basically. If you get to a gym, go to the gym. I'm not saying work out like you're trying to be Mr. or Mrs. Universe, but, just get on the treadmill for 30, 40 minutes and work it out, and then come on home. It's not a big deal for me as far as exercise, because I think everybody's body is beautiful in its own individual way. What I always stress is health. You got to be healthy. So that being said, putting that with the travel part, you got to make sure that you're eating healthy when you're traveling, or at least healthy as you can when you're traveling. You don't want to get out and eat like half a pig in a day. You don't want to do that, but you want to have fun, and you want to enjoy yourself. And there's different ways to do that, like trying different foods. You never know what you're going to like from one place to another, because everyone cooks things a little bit differently, even from one house to the next. So you also have, supplements that you can take. But this is what I want to stress to you guys. When you're looking at taking a supplement for your body, you have to take things into consideration. One, is your body deficient in whatever this supplement is providing to you? If you read the back of the supplement packaging, it tells you what percentage of the recommended daily intake levels are, and what the supplement will provide. You typically want to take into consideration that, number one, you're eating food, you're drinking, juice, possibly, hopefully, you're eating fruit, and you're eating your vegetables properly, not boiled where all of the nutrients are now in the water, and you're not drinking the water, you're pouring it down the sink. You want to kind of flash cook your vegetables so it has some texture to it, and it doesn't have all of the nutrients boiled out of it. But either way, you want to make sure that if let's say you're taking